What's happening, friends? Joker here with some more Destiny gameplay from this week's level 34 Prison of Elders named Broken Legion. And today I'm going to show you a very fast tip on how to take on this week's boss, the Cabal warrior named Trau'ug. Now this is the boss who changes the elemental nature of his shield periodically, meaning that you will have to be switching between Void, Arc, and Solar damage. And that remains to be really the only obstacle in taking on this boss other than the dense mob of enemies that may accumulate over time. So here's what you do. The only real strategy that happens here is just choosing a good spot to hold off the incoming attack. Now you can try going to the far left, which has been a preferred spot of mine in previous weeks. However, you will have to prepare yourself for the occasional Centurion Major or even Scion Majors that will make their way into your actual space by either going on the sides or jumping over that open space in the middle. So I actually don't recommend holding it down on this side. Likewise, the right side doesn't seem to provide any degree of ample cover for you or your fire team members, making it a much more dangerous side if you want to hold it off from there. So the most balanced spot that I found with my friend when we were taking on this boss actually was by the very beginning doors that you walk through. You can find some cover in these two hallways, both left and right side. Although they're not the best preferable spots for cover, they will suffice because of the enemy's AI patterns. In other words, you don't have to worry about the occasional major enemy like a Centurion or Scion jumping into you and landing shots onto you unexpectedly. The mobs of enemies will concentrate themselves all within that open ground right in front of you, and they won't actually charge up into you. Now, this will give you ample time to actually choose when you want to engage the boss and these mobs of enemies. And you can also combine this with like a Titan Defender, using a Blessing of Light shield for a more defensive approach if you find your fire team's taking way too much damage, or preferably using Weapons of Light as the offensive alternative to where you can basically land a lot more damage onto the boss, making this a much shorter battle altogether. Something else to note about the enemy's AI patterns is that these Cabal enemies tend to easily hoard themselves together, as in they seem to always group up and revolve around the same spot on the map close by to wherever your fire team is at. You can use this to your advantage if you find yourself getting too much fire or too much pressure in terms of the enemies taking shots at you. Because they are hoarded up together, you can choose to then evade going left side or right side, and that'll give you a significant amount of breathing room to kind of recover and regroup. And again, this might be very useful if you have especially lower leveled players with you that are taking damage very easily. Having said that, however, this boss battle felt to be a lot less challenging compared to like Quodron before the buff and nerf that happened there, and like Calyx Reborn or even Urox on the very first week. So all you have to worry about is just that elemental damage shift and just the mob density, and that's pretty much it. I hope that you found something helpful within this video, and I hope that this gave you some kind of good tips, especially if you're a lower leveled player. My name is Joker, and I want to wish all of you fellow Guardians out there a very awesome and fun week. Like this video if you liked it, and thank you for hanging out and watching. I'll see you next time.